let's talk about building requirement skills. You may have resources on your team that range from anywhere along the lines of beginners to experienced professionals. And honestly, a lot of them are going to have different backgrounds. You're going to have the people who have never seen a software project, all the way to the people who consider themselves experienced requirements experts. So when you're planning to grow the analytical skills of these people, you really need to understand which category your team members fits into. Recognize that they're going to need different types of training and mentoring to round out their skill sets, and then tailor the learning path according to each person in that team. Now, we think that there's 3 types of training that you need to have for your requirements team. The first one is on the requirements process. So ideally, train your entire global requirements team in the same content. You want them to have this common language to talk about requirements with each other. This is what Anthony was just talking about a minute ago. So for example, you might have a word like, or a phrase like business requirements, where different people in the organization mean something different when they say business requirements. So your organization needs to pick a meaning and then train that one meaning for the entire organization. This area of training also includes things like the requirements life cycle, right? What's the end-to-end process that a requirement itself goes through? There's a generic requirements methodology that your organization uses, so you want to make sure you're training on that as well. And then even the general software development life cycle, particularly with your more junior resources, they're not necessarily going to be familiar with that. So again, make sure that is part of your basic training process. The second type of training is on the specific skills associated with requirements. Again, you need everyone to have a common skill set that they're applying to the actual requirements work. That would be things like, what are the different methods to elicit requirements? How do you write clear requirements? How do you model requirements? The review and the validation of requirements, and then even managing the change process on those requirements. Now, in picking training, there are some formal training courses that are available for requirement skills. You can put students in any kind of a course that varies from entirely lecture-based up to those that are highly interactive. And our research has shown that courses with the interactive activities, those are the ones that allow students to really experience using the requirement skills and getting immediate feedback and guidance as they go. This gives them a much better chance at remembering the lessons learned and applying those. We also would suggest that the entire team should be trained in the same basics course. This gives them a common language for which they can talk about requirements. So that means even your experienced experts at requirements really should go through the same course, so they're all working from the same sort of baseline. This will help with things like I talked about earlier with the business requirements. Like a phrase like that, that's where they're going to learn the same language. We'd also suggest that your people should all go through courses on how do you create requirements models, and then a basic elicitation course is a good idea. Anthony, can you talk to us a little bit about that third category, the soft skills training?
Joy, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. In the training of soft skills, let's look at 3 components of that, really. Because if I were to look into training of soft skills, really we're going to talk about 3 different areas. Mentoring soft skills, culture soft skills, and facilitating and negotiating, really. In the soft skills area of mentoring programs, having the knowledge, skills, and abilities to elicit and document requirements, that's a fantastic ability. No question about it. But just as important as requirement skills are the soft skills, are the people skills that you need to have in order to operate in any organization. First, if you're new to a company or new to a segment and don't quite get the lay of the land yet, find a go-to person. Ask around your team. Ask around other teams. Ask folks in the industry. Hey, do you know of anyone that can help me understand my organization or this new position that I'm in?